friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review. And when I say first listen review, I'm talking this is the first time I've ever heard this band. Hard to believe. I don't know what I've been doing, how I've missed this band. I'm talking about the Hellacopters and their 8th album, Overdriver. And I'm excited to babble about this one because I love it when I find a band. Like for me, this is like my first time ever listening to this. I've heard the name 100 times. I've heard other people talk about them. Some people praising, and other people, just saying it's just a, imitation rock band. Just want to be like, just a rock band like AC/DC. I've heard them compared to them before, and I've never really decided to pick up any of their albums. Those are just a comparison I've heard. So I saw this was coming out this week. There wasn't still a whole lot coming out this week, which I was surprised. Usually this time of year things are starting to come out a lot more. A couple good albums, but not a ton. So I saw this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm finally going to give these guys a listen. I see what everybody's talking about, and I was really surprised. This actually has been in my player. I since what day is today? So I've had it since Thursday. I guess I got it early somehow, and it's just been playing. I haven't taken it out of my CD player yet. So, and it's strange because if anybody knows, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that know Hellacopters. This is not their first listen, but this is my first listen, and there was so much going on in here that it definitely did not fit what I thought it was going to sound like. The first couple songs, though, kind of did. I'll say that. And what I didn't know either was that this is fronted by a guy named Nick Anderson, and he was the drummer for Entombed, and they're a death metal band. I'm really not into death metal at all, so I don't remember if that was why one of the things that kept me away from this or not. I really don't know, but could be. But doesn't sound anything like death metal, not even close. I can see why people compare it to something like AC/DC, but this is way more than that. The riffs in this are actually really good. The first couple songs, kind of start out just in-your-face rock songs. Pretty good way to start an album. The singing on this was actually really melodic. He's got a little bit of grit in his voice, but very melodic. A lot of harmonies. You're hearing double guitar stuff going on, kind of gave me some Thin Lizzy vibes. But lots of harmonies, and AC/DC is not known for that, so I don't know why I see a little bit why they got that comparison, at least from what I've heard. Maybe I'm overusing that comparison too much, but you can see why they had, but a lot of more riffs, and more intricate guitar playing than that. And when it really kicked in for me was in song number 3, which is I Don't Want to Be Just a Memory. That song just had I don't know what it is about that one. That's when it really clicked. I'm like, oh wow, this is a little different. And the way the vocal line went along with the chord progression in that one, just the way it lined up for me, it was just kind of stood out really, and it was a really big sounding song, and very catchy, but definitely a rock song, hard rocking song. So I was like, oh, we're on to something here. And I'm not going to go through every single song here, but that's where it kind of turned around. And the middle of this album was really middle loaded, which you don't hear a whole heck of a lot. You only hear front loaded and back loaded a lot, but this one was middle loaded. So from that point on, this Cup Soldier On, that's another one that really stood out for me. It still does stand out for me. That one just had a super catchy, hard rocking feel to it as well. I will point out that there was one on here called The Stench, which lyrically has to be one of the greatest lyrical breakup songs. Maybe not musically one of the greatest songs. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but lyrically it was great. That one was just awesome. You have to hear that one to understand what I'm talking about, but yeah, that was great. I don't know what else to say about this one other than I was really impressed. The band is tight, but it's got that loose, I don't know, 70s rock feel to it. Bands like Free come to mind, Thin Lizzy even though they're not. Thin Lizzy was a tight band, so they got that tight, loose feel. Almost like Rolling Stones has that loose feel to it. like that style rock, but this is like a lot heavier rock version of that type of stuff. The Stones had like lots of cool riffs. This has like lots of cool riffs, heavier riffs, with a very higher vocal range than that. It's kind of like Free kind of came to mind. It's got that. He's got a little bit of a rasp like Paul does there, and it gave me that type of feel too. So I don't know. I think I've done enough babbling about this one. But one thing I do love about this type of album is, actually, this was from what I'm reading here, it's the first one that was also completely produced by Nick Anderson. So what I was about to say is that this is like one of those albums that makes me want to go back and listen to their earlier catalog, because it really impressed me. So being this is the first one that's produced by him, it'll be interesting to hear what the previous albums sound like if they're produced by somebody else, and see what kind of differences they have. Maybe this will be one of those ones where I do a retro review. I did that one other time. It was suggested by a person in the comments there. I thought it was a pretty cool idea. It might be a cool idea to do with this one, since I've never heard anything from these guys before. So that being said, feel free as always to leave your comments and thoughts on this band. What albums should somebody like me who's never heard them before go back and check out first? Because I've had other people recommend other albums, similar scenarios where I've been the first listen of a band that's got a back catalog. Kiss of Dynamite was the other one I was referring to, by the way, and I've always appreciated that, and you haven't steered me wrong yet. So until next time, I forgot to say, like, share, and subscribe. You're always supposed to ask for that, on these videos and whatever. Hate doing it, but it really does help, people like me find new music and direct people to new music, and watching another person's channel, because I love watching and listening to other people's opinions. That's why I started doing this, and kind of led me to the Hellacopters. So I'm just trying to spread the word. That's all I'm doing with this. And I appreciate it when people, make recommendations, and like, share, and subscribe. I really do. So like, share, and subscribe to keep music alive, because I definitely want to hear more of these guys. Can't wait to hear their back catalog, and of course I'm sure they'll be releasing more in the future. So until then, we will see you.